So welcome to another Edgewonk review. This was sent in by a user and he asked us to go over his journal. So let's dig into the data. Interesting home tab. He didn't have a good start into the new year. But when we look at the equity graph before that drawdown, it looked quite good. So before that recent drawdown, looked like he was quite profitable, but yeah, something happened. Maybe the market didn't favor his approach. What are your thoughts, Moritz, here when we look at this data?
Firstly, a rough start to the new year. Always sucks when that happens. But it could be for any reason. Either the market is a bit slower beginning of the year, or you're too eager to start really good into the new year, and then you take trades that don't really fit your criteria. I don't know, but yeah, just losing streak at the beginning of the year can be disheartening, but don't let yourself be too discouraged by that. If we look at the Edgewonk score and the profit factor, right now he's pretty much a break-even trader. He's exactly at break-even, and he told us that he is a consistently profitable trader, and that was exactly at the height of the equity curve.
Mm.
Just shows you how treacherous trading can be sometimes. You think you made it and then you get punched in the mouth. Yeah, so we found a couple of interesting things. The first one being in the instrument field.
Mm-hmm.
And here we can clearly see that gold performs for him positively. And Bitcoin, on the other hand, over a large sample size, 88 trades, is an absolute losing proposition. So the first thing that I would say to this trader is focus on gold and lose the Bitcoin, because obviously it's not working. I mean, you can make 12 more trades, then you have a sample size of 100. Then you either have to adjust the strategy so it works on Bitcoin, or you simply drop Bitcoin, focus on gold. I would say that's the better option.
Yeah, also just for mental health and just to help him get back on a better mindset, dropping Bitcoin will free up a lot of mental capital. Yeah, it seems like for whatever reason this is not working out with his strategies. He could drop Bitcoin and then go to alternative strategies and start experimenting with different approaches, different target, different stop, different trailing approach for trade management. Yeah, but probably dropping it for now and then focusing on what is working, probably the best idea, especially if you're currently in such a drawdown. I imagine mentally this is challenging. So making
Yes.
sure that you work or you focus on what is working is probably the best idea for now.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing we found is in the performance by time. So we don't know if this trader is using pending orders, but when we go to performance by time and look for hour of the day, it seems like he's trading around the clock. But again, what stands out is there is this 4 hour profitable window here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when he's making money, it's only from 8 a.m. until 11. You can see eight trades, five. So this is 26 trades. Not the best sample size, but I think the takeaway message and the insight here is pretty clear for now. This is his most profitable time. Could be a market open when the market is favoring his approach. Maybe that's also when he is freshest. So probably trying to reduce the amount that he's spending in front of the charts, focusing on that period, dropping Bitcoin will have a significant impact on his trading routine as well and all of his processes.
Not only that, it will also help him to, yeah, just focus on what really matters, which is his performance in gold. I think he definitely has an edge there. There's a decent sample size. And once you take out Bitcoin and then you take out the trading hours, now suddenly you have a winning strategy. Does this guy also trade on the weekend, by the way? I want to know. Okay, he also trades some. So taking away Bitcoin and the ability to trade on a weekend will do this trader an even bigger favor, in my opinion. Yeah.
Mm, yep. Just reducing the amount spent in front of the charts, giving him time to recharge. Do some homework, do journaling, do prep, do previews, reviews, all gonna have a positive effect on this trader, most likely. One thing that we see that could be a huge improvement is he is not using trade comments. And ideally, you always want to see, especially for such a trader where the edge is not as clear, I would say, as you're being able to distinguish between the trades where you follow the rules and trades where you broke the rules. That would be such an interesting insight here into this trader. It could be that his Bitcoin trades, he is mostly breaking his rules, and when he's following, he is making money. But there's no real way of seeing that at the moment. So just having two comments here, broke rules and followed rules, and going into every trade and say which one applies would be such a big game changer for this trader to look at his trades and his edge in a completely different way. So that's the biggest recommendation here as well, or one of the bigger
Mhm.
recommendations. He said also trade management is an issue for him, and when we look at the graph, seems to be the case. Potential performance is above actual, as you can see here. You have this feedback box. Whenever potential is above actual, it means that you are somehow mismanaging the trades. And we looked into this trader's comments for a bit, and also in the email when he reached out to us, he said that he seems to be struggling with letting his winners run. Again, by reducing all of the complexity of his approach, reducing the amount of screen time, this could have a positive effect. But just looking at this, the trader should have the takeaway message that not managing the trades could be a big improvement here for him. Again, simplifying everything for this trader.
Yeah, and I mean, while there is some edge to be had here in the trade management, I don't think it's his biggest priority right now.
Yep.
It's definitely fixing all the other things like the over trading and the Bitcoin, and then he also has a setup that doesn't really work out for him, taking some impulsive trades. And once all of that is fixed, then we can focus on the trade management.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. When you see what is interesting, sometimes you see that although the potential is above actual, you see that the biggest difference between the two lines comes from this jump here. And this
Hmm.
means that this is due to maybe five trades the most. So five trades cause this big difference here. So it's not a systemic issue that on all the trades or on the majority of trades there's an issue, but it seems like this is just occasionally. So it is not, as you said, not the highest priority for this trader, right? And I think otherwise it looks all right here. He definitely seems to have an edge. His risk management is good. You don't have any outliers here. That seems to be under control, which is good news. Just briefly, let's go to the equity graph and let's only look at gold trades. And yeah, although we're only looking at 45 trades, I think the sample size still says this looks much better. This is something that compared to the actual current equity graph, and I'm sure he would be willing to trade in his current performance for this. So that's something to focus on. Win rate around 50, average P&L, average reward to risk ratio is 2.1. Suddenly, the profit factor looks really good, actually. So this is quite promising. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I think,
And remember, we haven't filtered out anything else yet, like the unprofitable trading hours, the random trades, the bad setups.
yeah,
So there's definitely a really nice edge here
mm,
over a decent sample size. And I think this is the way to go for this trader to as a baseline. And then he can slowly fix all the other issues, and then he has a really nice edge in gold. And that's all you need.
absolutely. He does have one custom stats for setup quality, so this might give us an idea of where or is there a difference between trades really following the rules and not as much. And you can see there are four trades. Quality criteria C, so the worst quality, and that's when he's losing. So this is a good start, but definitely highly recommend at least have two comments here followed and broke the rules. That would be really helpful here for this journal. So yeah, great insights. I think a really interesting journal. There's definitely some edge here in the data. Just now up to the trader to really make sure to change his approach based on the data. I know this can be hard sometimes. when you're a very active trader to cut out like 50, 60, 70% of all your trades. But yeah, listen to the data. The data has the answers, and I think the path here is quite straightforward for this trader.